Hello, today I'll be talking about Haunter, the evolution of Ghastly, who evolved at level 25. It's also tied as the lightest Pokemon with Ghastly, Flabébé, Cosmog, Kartana, and Gimmighoul, with it being tied with Ghastly as the lightest Pokemon in Gen 1. Its previous PYC dates are May 29th, 1996, March 20th, 1999, January 8th, 2002, October 29th, 2004, August 20th, 2007, June 10th, 2010, March 31st, 2013, January 20th, 2016, November 10th, 2018, and August 31st, 2021. I most remember Haunter from an early episode where it, Ghastly, and Gengar lived in a tower and scared people who visited. Coincidentally, this is the episode we'll be watching today. I also remember it from the original English dub title sequence, which used a clip from this episode. I also remember hearing Ash's Charmander would be dead if they used the Pokedex entry, particularly the one from Yellow, and later Silver, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Pearl, Soul Silver, Y, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Sun, Let's Go Pikachu, and Eevee, and Legends Arceus. Kind of. I think Haunter is one of the most ghost-looking ghost Pokemon. Certainly not in the white sheet ghost kind of way, but it definitely feels like a threatening creature. Let's get into the Bulbapedia article. Hello and welcome to the Bulbapedia section of the video. Today we're talking about Haunter, the gas Pokemon whose number is 0093. This is what it looks like. Its type is Ghost Poison, and ability Levitate. Gender ratio 50-50, catch rate 90 or 20.1%. Breeding, a group Amorphous. Hatch time 20 cycles. Height is 5'3" or 1.6 meters. Weight is 0.2 pounds or 0.1 kilograms. Base experience yield is 126 in the first 4 gens, and 142 in 5+. Leveling rate is medium slow. EV yield is 2, and special attack. Shape is that, has no feet, so it has no footprint. Pokedex color is purple, base friendship is 70. Haunter is a dual-type Ghost Poison Pokemon introduced in Gen 1. It evolves from Ghastly, starting at level 25, and evolves into Gengar when traded or when exposed to a linking cord. Biology: Haunter is a purple Pokemon with a gaseous body. It has a round head flanked by 3 large spiked protrusions on either side. It has triangular eyes with small pupils and a mouth with a long pink tongue. The gases composing its head curve into its mouth to form several pointed teeth. Disembodied hands with 3 clawed fingers each float in front of its body. Its body tapers to a jagged tail. Haunter's gaseous form makes it one of the lightest Pokemon in existence. Haunter hides in very dark places, such as caves, and is afraid of light. If a human or a Pokemon comes near Haunter, it will stalk the victim while floating and beckon it to come closer. Once approached, it will then lick the victim with its gaseous tongue, inflicting convulsions in the victim that last until death. It can also float through walls. It has been shown in Pokemon the series that it can control its hands from far away and can control any Pokemon that it touches with its hands. Haunter have also been depicted as being able to create illusions, pull out spirits from an individual's body, and even remove its own eyes from its face. Despite its predatory nature, it is known to entertain and prank people, such as in the episode The Tower of Terror. Additionally, in A Shipful of Shivers, it is even shown to feel intense loyalty to a deceased trainer. As mentioned in Pokemon Sleep, Haunter is known to sleep while floating. A sleeping Haunter will steal the life force of anyone who comes near using its gaseous tongue. In Gen 1, Nightshade was its signature move. Evolution: Haunter evolves from Ghastly and evolves into Gengar. So you can see that here, Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar. Game data, NPC appearances. Pokemon Pinball. 2 Haunter appear in a bonus stage accessible from the red table. Once the player knocks out the 3 Ghastly, the pair of Haunter appear, and upon knocking them out, the player must proceed to defeat the Gengar that appears. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Explorers of Sky. Haunter is the main antagonist in the special episode Today's Oh My Gosh, where it is later revealed there are 3 Haunter working together. Pokedex entries in Gen 1 in red and blue. Because of its ability to slip through block walls, it is said to be from another dimension. Yellow: by licking, it saps the victim's life. It causes shaking that won't stop until the victim's demise. Stadium: if you trip and fall for no apparent reason, or hear a sound when no one is around, it may be a Haunter. In Gen 2, in Gold, in total darkness, where nothing is visible, Haunter lurks, silently stalking its next victim. Silver: its tongue is made of gas. If licked, its victim starts shaking constantly until death eventually comes. Crystal: it hides in the dark, planning to take the life of the next living thing that wanders close by. Stadium 2 is just gold again. In Gen 3, Ruby and Sapphire, Haunter is a dangerous Pokemon. If one beckons you while floating in darkness, you must never approach it. This Pokemon will try to lick you with its tongue and steal your life away. Emerald, if a Haunter beckons you while it is floating in darkness, don't approach it. This Pokemon will try to lick you with its tongue and steal your life away. Fire Red, if you get the feeling of being watched in darkness when nobody is around, Haunter is there. Leaf Green is just red and blues again. In Gen 4 in Diamond, it can slip through any obstacle. It lurks inside walls to keep an eye on its foes. It licks with its gaseous tongue to steal the victim's life force. It lurks in darkness for prey. Platinum, it likes to lurk in the dark and tap shoulders with a gaseous hand. Its touch causes endless shuddering. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are their gold and silver counterparts. The Gen 5 Pokedex entries are Platinums. In Gen 6, X is Fire Red's entry. Y is Pearl's entry. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, their Ruby and Sapphire counterpart. In Gen 7 in Sun, it strikes at humans from total darkness. Those licked by its cold tongue grow weaker with each passing day until they die. Moon, it fears the light and revels in the dark. It may be on the verge of extinction in cities that stay brightly lit at night. Ultra Sun, on moonless nights, Haunter searches for someone to curse, so it's best not to go out walking around. Ultra Moon, it's dangerous to go outside alone on nights. When you're feeling sad, Haunter will catch you and you won't be able to go back home. Oh. In the Let's Go games, that Pokedex entry is Yellow's. In Gen 8, Sword is the Silver entries. Shield is Fire Red and X's entry. Brilliant Diamonds is its Diamond counterpart. Shining Pearl is very similar to its Pearl counterpart. However, it's slightly different, so I'll read it. It licks with its gaseous tongue to steal its victim's life force. It lurks in darkness, waiting for prey. Legends Arceus. This frightful, malevolent spirit can glide through walls, appearing wherever it likes. According to rumor, victims of a Haunter's lick will wither to death day by day. In Gen 9, Scarlet is Platinum and Gen 5's Pokedex. Violet is the Gold entries. Haunter in the Alola Pokedex. Haunter in the Paldea Pokedex, so you can see here, we get the tongue, and it seems to be scaring the camera person. Yep. So then Haunter in the Kitakami Pokedex, so you can see here, it's just, I guess, floating around menacingly. Game locations, side game locations, and events. Held items, Pokemon caught in Gen 1 must be traded to a Gen 2 game in order for a held item to appear. Red, blue, and yellow, you get a berry 100% of the time. Fire Red and Leaf Green, you get a spell tag 5% of the time. Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl, you get an Everstone as an in-game trade 100% of the time. In Legends Arceus, Normal, you get a Chesto Berry 35% of the time, Spoiled Apricorn 15% of the time, and grid items by level. Alpha, you get an EXP Candy M 100% of the time, Seed of Mastery 20% of the time, and grid items by level. Still don't know how the math works. Stats, base stats, HP 45, Attack 50, Defense 45, Special Attack 115, Special Defense 55, Speed 95 for a total of 405. This Pokemon's special base stat in Gen 1 was 115. Pokéthon stats, type effectiveness, damage normally by flying, rock, steel, fire, water, electric, ice, and dragon. Weak to ghost, psychic, and dark for double. Immune to normal, fighting, and ground. Resistant to poison, bug, grass, and fairy. Poison and bug for a fourth, and grass and fairy for half. Notes. If Foresight or Odor Sleuth is used by an opponent, the opponent has Scrappy, or this Pokemon is given a ring target, the effectiveness of normal type moves is 1, so it would go from 0 to 1, and the effectiveness of fighting type moves is half, so it would go from 0 to half. In Generations 1 and 2, or if Gravity is in effect, this Pokemon is given an Iron Ball or is affected by Smackdown or Ingrain. The opponent has the ability Mold Breaker, Turbo Blaze, or Terra Volt, or this Pokemon is affected by Gastro Acid, or this Pokemon's ability is replaced. The effectiveness of Ground-type moves is 2, so it comes from 0 to 2. In Gen 1, the effectiveness of Bug-type moves is 1, so from 1 to a fourth. For Learn Set by Level Up, we'll do this Evo, and then go down to Nightshade here. Pawn Evolution, you get Shadow Punch, 30 Nightshade, 36 Sucker Punch, 42 Dark Pulse, 48 Shadow Ball, 54 Destiny Bond, and 60 Dream Eater. By TM we're skipping, by breeding we're skipping, nothing by prior revolution, side game data. Okay. Pokemon Ranger in the browser entry. If Hunter disappears, it will reappear behind your Pokemon and spirit it away. In Shadows of Olmia, it attacks by spitting out orbs imbued with loathsome emotions. In Guardian Signs, it shoots out orbs imbued with loathsome emotions that make Pokemon paused. Got all this, okay. Pokepark Wii, Pikachu's Adventure. In the Pokepark Pad entry, Haunter often play in the Haunted Zone. When it comes to Rotom, Spooky, Shoot 'em Up, Haunter are hard to beat. All this. Evolution data. Haunter evolves from Ghastly starting at level 25 and evolves into Gengar when traded. In Pokemon Legends Arceus, Haunter can also evolve into Gengar when exposed to a linking cord. So you got Ghastly, level 25, Haunter, trade, linking cord, Gengar, yeah. Sprites. In Gen 1, you get these creepy ones. I mean, they're all gonna be kind of creepy, but these ones are especially creepy, especially Red's. Like, that's so unnecessarily creepy. The back is very interesting because it's not the jagged line, the point or whatever. It's all jaggedy, and I guess you can't really see it because it's so dark. That's the idea, I guess. Here we got the more, the sort of the purple highlights. The more, established things. Yeah, the pointed triangular eyes and stuff. These are just sort of generic ghost creatures. And then so yeah, then we got in the hands 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it goes down to 3 when we go to yellow. Interesting, and I think it stays at 3. I don't think it ever goes above that. So we get gold or Gen 2s. Then it's sort of the purple color, and then sort of a bluish purple color. Of course, blue mouth, red mouth. Gen 3 becomes purple for both, however the highlights are now red and blue. Those kind of stay. It's different shades, of course. But yeah, that's interesting. Keep the same concept in Diamond and Pearl. It's a different purple, though. Yep. Mouth is pink in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Interesting. Back to red in Gen 5. Get a full back sprite here. Oh, the back. Interesting. So, obviously this comes more like that. That basically is just the same as that one's, but better quality. This one's interesting because it has like just spikes. I don't know. I guess they're trying to smooth the design, probably unify it. This is back to the outer spikes. Yep, and 3D models. Kind of a between of the inner spikes and the outer spikes here for the backs, but sort of a lighter here. We got a pink mouth and a light blue mouth, or tongue, I guess. So it gets like a weird, like the kind of human mouth color on the inside. Yep. And then now the points are out more on the back sprites for Gen 7 here. Yep. It's a little bit darker for the tongue and these games. Back to sort of lighter colors, sort of darker in general on the body. Yep. Arceus, you get to see all the cool details. These are also dark to the darker tongues. Cross generation. Oh, they're different shades. Oh yeah, Legend Arceus introduces the idea of these two being different purples, and so then that keeps true for home. Okay. In the anime, Haunter in Pokemon the series. Okay. This. For Pokedex entries in episode 23 in Ash's Pokedex. Haunter, a gaseous Pokemon. No further information. So this should actually say gas Pokemon. Yeah. In episode 95, in the same Pokedex, Haunter, the gas Pokemon. After evolving from Ghastly, this Haunter can learn the Dream Eater and Psychic attacks. In X and Y, episode 72, in Serena's Pokedex, Haunter, the gas Pokemon, and the evolved form of Ghastly. Haunter can watch opponents by hiding in walls and slips through anything in its way. Pokemon Origins, we got Haunter in Pokemon Origins, slashing this Kadabra. Yep. Okay. In the manga, Haunter in the Electric Tales of Pikachu, looking very terrifying. Yep. Got Haunter in Pokemon Adventures. Okay, got all this. In the TCG, other appearances. So it says here that a Haunter appears in Pokemon Detective Pikachu. That's not true. Yeah. At least not in any way that I could see watching this many, many times. If anything, maybe it's on like one of the Pokemon cards, but it's like it doesn't appear physically. Trivia: in the Pokemon Red and Blue Beta, Haunter's prototype name was Spectre. Page 19 of the Pokemon Trainer's Survival Guide erroneously references Haunter by this name. The second point we read yesterday. Haunter is the Pokemon with the most cry changes throughout the core series games, having been changed in generations 2, 3, and 6. So did this point yesterday? Haunter is the only ghost-type Pokemon featured in Pokemon Snap. Haunter's Japanese name Ghost is exactly the same as the Japanese name for the ghost type. Design variations. Haunter's Gen 1 artworks, Gen 1 sprites, except yellow, and Gen 3 sprites depict Haunter with 3 fingers and 1 thumb. However, most of Haunter's depictions in other media, such as throughout Pokemon the series, including the original series, it has always been depicted with 2 fingers and a thumb. So you get the red and green sprite, the ruby and sapphire sprite, the red and green art, the key art, and the original series art. Origin Haunter appears to be based on a ghost. It shares many similarities with the yokai Akaguchi, a creature with a wide mouth and a long tongue whose body is covered by dark clouds, making only its head and clawed hands visible. While Haunter's long tongue is a recurring theme among many yokai, its vampiric licking might have come from the Dilla, a Philippine spirit that licked the life energy of sick people until they died, or some variants of the Aknami. Some of Haunter's traits, such as its poison type and extremely lightweight, seem to be based on Fuirii, floating spirits said to be able to spread diseases. Name origin, Haunter may be derived from haunt and the adjunctive suffix or possibly hunter. Ghost is literally ghost. In other languages, related articles, references, yeah, let's move on. Now let's watch Haunter's first scene in the anime. Hello and welcome to the anime portion of the video. Today we are watching episode 23, The Tower of Terror. In this episode, Ash Ketchum, the main character, and his traveling companions Brock and Misty and his Pikachu, as well as his Charmander here, I guess, have come to the tower in the Lavender Town to capture a ghost Pokemon. They're currently hearing the laugh of Haunter and Gengar, although they don't know that yet.
Where are those voices coming from?
Comedy. You two are watching is Haunter, Gengar. So that's Haunter's first scene in the anime. Let's move on. Now let's talk about the TCG. I have one Haunter card, which is the 10th design of the Haunter card. It was illustrated by Naoyo Kimura, an illustrator for the cards, as well as a few other pieces of media in the franchise. He is best known for his colored sketchbook drawing style. He began in 2000 and has continued to illustrate the cards to this day as of May 2024. I like the implication that Haunter is attacking the opposing Pokemon from the tree. Haunter has 70 HP. It is 5'3" and 0.2 pounds, which is interesting since it gained a foot from Ghastly but didn't gain weight. It has 2 moves, Hypnosis and Dream Eater. In the video games, Hypnosis is a psychic type move introduced in Gen 1. It puts the opponent to sleep. On this card, it costs 1 psychic energy and does the same thing. In the video games, Dream Eater is a psychic type move introduced in Gen 2 that drains a sleeping Pokemon's HP and adds half of it back to the user's HP, up to max HP. The idea is that the user is stealing and eating the dreams, which gives them energy and therefore health. On this card, it takes 2 psychic energies and takes 60 damage, but only works if the opposing Pokemon is already asleep. Haunter is weak to dark for plus 20 damage. It's resistant to colorless, which I didn't even know was possible, for minus 20 damage. It mimics Haunter's immunity to normal type. It doesn't have a retreat cost. In the bottom right corner, there's the Diamond and Pearl expansion symbol. Its description reads, "It can slip through any obstacle. It lurks inside walls to keep an eye on its foes." This is the Pokedex entry in Pokemon Diamond and Brilliant Diamond. It's level 32. I don't have a card for Gengar, so the next Pokemon with a card I'll be talking about is Onix. Now let's see why people love Haunter. Hello and welcome to the community post section of the video. Someone has responded to one of these, so I'll read it. So it's number 1 Drizzile fan again. They responded to one we did before. Thank you for responding. They say, its big floaty hands, mouth shape, and shiny always made it more interesting than Gengar to me. Okay, it's fair. Okay, thank you again for responding. Let's move on. Now let's look at fan art. Hello and welcome to the fan art section of the video. Nobody sent in fan art, so instead we're looking at DeviantArt fan art. For those of you not familiar with the series, what we do is we go through these images until find an image that doesn't contain a Haunter. So this is Lavender Team Haunter by Dragolisco. That's this cool looking art. We stopped at the Gengar version yesterday, so it's kind of cool to see what it looked like before. Yeah, it's very good, a little bit creepy, very dragon horn like. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, very scaly like a dragon. It's interesting. Then we got Ghost Type by Ein Lee. So another very creepy image here. So I got the Haunter here, Ghastly, Gengar, Pumpkaboo, Gorgeist, Litwick, Drifblim, Drifloon, Sableye, Bayonet, Shuppet, Mismagius, Misdreavus, Honedge, Chandelure, Lampent, Duskull, Yamask, and Pikachu. This is not a Haunter image, so we'll move on. Thanks to everyone who submitted fan art. I won't be streaming tonight as I need to wait until I've talked about Snorlax before I can evolve Ghastly into Haunter. Tomorrow I'll be talking about Gengar. As always, this isn't my proper outfit, and you'll see me tomorrow.